Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we're going to take a look at OpenAI's API. And so if we go over here to product, their UI on their website is awful. I don't know why they make it so hard to find it. And it's very slow loading, but if you drop it down, you can get to API login. And we actually do use OpenAI quite a bit just because I find this one of the easiest ones to utilize. It's not the best, it's just what I'm very comfortable with. But when you want to start working with it, what you're going to end up doing is creating a bunch of projects. So here, there's a project I don't really want anymore. I'm trying to manage my projects to delete this one if it takes a moment here. But I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. But you come with a default project, as you can see here. And you might have to fill in your company information. You probably do. But the idea is that when we want to work on something, we first create a project. I'll just say, basic. Okay, and then from there, we want to create an API key, which we can find here on the left-hand side. And you can see that I have a key from a different example before. We'll open this up and I'll just say basic. And I'm going to go and select that project and create it. I'm going to make my way over to here. And I think I already have, yep, I do, an environment open here. So I'm going to open that up. But I use OpenAI quite a bit in this course, so you're going to see me again and again and again do it, so I don't feel bad if I'm kind of glossing over it. But we'll go over to here onto the left-hand side, and we'll just give it a moment. And we will open up OpenAI, or use OpenAI, so we'll say OpenAI, and I'll make a new file here called basic.ipy here, ipynb. We'll make another new file here called .env. We'll make another file in here called env.example. And we'll make another file in here called .getignore. Okay, and I believe the key is called OpenAI API key. So that's what it's going to be called. We'll go back over to our API key. We'll copy it. We're going to paste it into here. I'm going to go over to the left here and copy this part, and we'll go back over to here and paste it in. Now, we actually need a few other things. We need a project ID, and we also need a org ID. Maybe you don't, but I'm pretty certain that I do. And so I'll go back over here to up here to the manage projects. And from here, I can grab the project ID, which is right here. So I'll grab that here. And we'll drop that in there. And then the next thing I'll do is go to General and grab my organizational ID or organization ID. And so we have that there. And these are supposed to be in the .env, of course. So we'll bring that over there and then just clear these out. But I'm not sure why I'm missing my OpenAI API key because I thought I just pasted it in here. Maybe I did not. Let me go take a look at the files. Oh, I pasted in the .getignore. Well, there we go. That's where it went. So this, we'll cut this out, this whole thing. I'll cut this out here, and I'll bring this here, and I'll drop it into here. And then we'll go over to here. We'll ignore the .env as per usual. And so there's a few things we'll need to install. The first will be pip install -q python.env, and then it'll be OpenAI. And so I'll go ahead and run that. We'll go to the next line here. I'm going to pull from maybe Streamlit, as we do have some code here. I need this stuff here to load in the .env file. So that will load the .env file. And now we just need some code examples. So if we go here, there should be a way we can find it if we look up the API reference. They have cookbooks down here. I never go to that ever, though. Oh, that's cool. Like, we want to do structured outputs. They have an example here. Some of these are pretty complex, so I'm not really sure. I'm just looking for something that's really basic. Maybe we'll just look at the API docs. And here we'll go to our quick start. And so, yeah, it's OpenAI API key, so I got that right. And here's a very basic example, so we'll go ahead and copy that. And we'll go back over to here. We'll paste it in. That doesn't look like Python. That looks like TypeScript or JavaScript. So this example here is, yeah, we want Python. So we'll go over to this one here. I knew right away that was not Python. And so we'll paste it in here. And I actually use GPT-4o Mini quite a bit these days. So we'll go ahead and run this and we'll see if it works. And it does. Now, I do believe function calls themselves write a haiku about recursive in programming. Oh, okay. So I was wondering like why it was being kind of weird there. But I do believe that OpenAI has a free tier. I'm right now utilizing the paid tier. I do have some credits loaded up. But I found like even if you load like $5 on these things, they last quite a long time. Though the credits do lapse over a year, so you make sure that you do utilize them, as that can be very unfortunate. But that will be our OpenAI example, and we'll call this one done and dusted, okay? So we have now utilized OpenAI, but I do want to point out that OpenAI does have a really, really good playground. I mean, these videos are called, these are like playground videos, but I really been focused on mostly working with them programmatically. But if we go over here to the playground, we have the chat, we have a bunch of options. There's not much to talk about, but it is a way that we can work with this stuff, and we might come back to these environments later on and play around with them, okay?